Hey guys, welcome back. As we finish off all of our 2014 films that we've shot, we would like to slowly introduce more and more people into the show. And this time around, we have our friend here, Jay. So let's not waste any more time. This is the film of Yamaha new MT-09. The Master of Torque. The Dark Side of Japan. The MT-09 was said to be a machine that can feel your desire of an adrenaline rush. It is said to be an all-rounder machine that can fit your daily needs and your extreme weekend rides. Or is it really? And this is why we are bringing in something very special to see if we can try to define clearly what is the MT-09 is all about. Introducing the Triumph Street Triple, and this particular bike is owned by a friend of ours. Me and Jay will be riding on both the MT-09 and the Street Triple in this film, so that we can share our proper opinion about these two inline 3 machines that is available now in the market. And we are really excited about this, so let's get to it. Since the film is actually about the MT-09 rather than the Street Triple, let's start with this dark horse first. The Yamaha MT-09 is powered by a beefy 847cc inline 3 engine that's said to produce a staggering amount of power. On paper, it's stated that the bike has around 113 horsepower and 87.5 Nm of torque. That is a lot of power for a very light machine. But it doesn't come with an impressive set of parts and electronics. Not to say that the bike is low in quality, but it just doesn't feel expensive. But that's the thing, it's not. At 54,000 ringgit on the road for the CBU units and the KD version that will be much cheaper, obviously, this MT-09 will sure make your girlfriend or wife even shorter with their spending money. So girls out there, be sure to take note on this matter. Now on to the main thing that I love to share on all of our films, the feel on how it rides. But before that, let's have a go on the Street Triple. When it comes to this particular English brand, we've been hoping to get our hands on it for quite some time now, and thanks to our buddy out there, we managed to get it for this particular film. The 674.8cc inline 3 of British engineering pride are said to produce 107 horsepower and 69 Nm of torque, not far off from the Yamaha MT-09 here. When both me and Jay rode this Triumph, straight away we have to say that it is in a class of premium riding experience. It's such an easy bike to handle, really smooth, no nonsense bike, and I'm not sure if that is coming from a factory setup, because this bike is owned by a friend. With the pipe change to an aftermarket set, it just brings this whistling noise from the engine even more, and that sounded lovely to our ears. So the reason we brought in this Triumph was to set a certain benchmark to our test, but immediately, after a quick ride on the Triumph, I felt that the two bikes are coming from a two different world to cater for two different group of people. So here's our short verdict on the Triumph Street Triple. The bike is really well designed to be used as much as possible. Why? Because it's such a comfortable bike to ride. The seating position all falls naturally. The chassis doesn't feel stiff, and this gives the bike a bit of a flamboyant character to itself. Handling is really easy and friendly, pretty much like a scooter, and it is not to be taken for granted with its amazing power, even though it doesn't really scare you that much. So this makes the bike quite a versatile machine for the weekend and also as a daily workhorse. So now, what about the MT-09 of Yamaha? Powerful, agile, really nervy. This is what the MT-09 is all about. It's really one bike to be treated with respect, even when it's not actually the hardest bike to ride. We'll start with the power. This is where the real definition of MT-09 comes to. It is such a responsive bike with an immediate power to the rider. The 0 to 100 comes instantly, but the top end might suffer a little bit. not as much as a twin engine, but it's not the kind of bike that you use for top speed purpose. So please, don't ask how fast can it go, because then I would say, what, 200 kilometers an hour not enough for you? This bike then comes with the 3 power modes for the rider to choose. It is supposed to differentiate the power delivery and sensitivity of the throttle response, but I'm not sure if I feel much different with it. So I must emphasize to the less experienced riders out there, you better get used to the MT-09 surge of power as you open the throttle, because it is a little bit too jerky sometimes. The handling of this dark horse comes in no complicated ways. There's no traction control and electronics assist for you. Just your whole body and the way you control your throttle. This is what I love about the MT-09. It seems like a very basic bike and it's all just you and the machine. And that is not something you can find easily these days. Especially more and more manufacturers out there are going crazy with the motorcycle technology on their bikes. But it is far from perfect. The bike then has some weird sitting position, at least to myself and Jay. Both of us felt that it gives a mixed feeling when you're trying to clench the tank with your thighs and sitting relaxed for cruising around. Plus the engine cover on the right is slightly bulging that it sometimes gets in your way, and that is quite annoying. But the handlebar works perfectly with the bike's physics. It felt natural in turns and empowering while riding in straight line, not too wide and not too narrow. So it helps in reducing the effort for our turning inputs while being relaxed on the handlebar. Remember, riding relaxed is the way to go. In terms of braking, the bike has enough stopping power to be on the road, but it all depends on the rider. I personally have enough feel on the brakes, and that is positive for me. So, the MT-09 then. The dark side of Japan? Not sure what does that truly means, but this machine is surely one hell of a bike to be ridden. My vote, more on track rather than on the street. That is just my preference though. The bike doesn't necessarily look good, but it certainly performs way better than what I expected. Hey, this is only Yamaha's few attempts in getting into the segment of big capacity naked / motard category. So hats off to the Japs, they are brave and they certainly have a proper lineup coming in a few years time. And when that time comes, be ready to be amazed. For a bike of such value, I think a passionate rider will definitely appreciate this bike for a long time. It's no more just about the appearance from Yamaha, it's now more on the sensation of the ride itself. I think that can define the dark side of Japan, because with this, you can be very aggressive, very precise, and most probably very intimidating. With that, I will be looking forward to be having it on the track. Maybe, because I just want to find out whether it'll find its true habitat to live on or not. Until next time, thank you for watching Malaysian Riders. Goodbye.